So you guys ready for the brand new Pokemon game coming out on January 28th? Oh man, I cannot wait. Along with that, there's a possibility of a brand new game coming out this year as well from Pokemon. We will talk about that later. And also, just kind of let you guys know, I'm starting to collect Pokemon cards again. But man, I can't believe how they're flying off the shelves. I don't remember that when I was 14 collecting the very first Pokemon cards that were ever made. I would find those like everywhere. Here, everywhere I go, they're already off the shelves. You can't find them online, nothing. Like, holy moly. So I have a feeling these cards are going to be very high priced in another 15 years, just like the originals were. So, I'm collecting again. That being said, you guys stay tuned. Here we go with the podcast. All right, so it has been 3 years since the last generation of Pokemon were created. And if you haven't paid attention, it's usually been every 3 years they create a brand new game with a brand new generation of Pokemon. So here's the thing, if you look at Brilliant Diamond and Pearl, they were outsourced. It wasn't by the second team of Pokemon. So the first team's working on Legends Arceus, which is releasing this month. But what about the second team? We haven't heard anything about it. So, I'm not saying this is definite, but this is definitely a possibility. Because you just looking at everything that's happened with Pokemon and how they do things, it's very highly likely that I would say maybe by the end of the year, like November, again, that we would see another game from Pokemon, and it's going to be a new generation of Pokemon. What is it, Gen 9? I think that's what this new one's going to be. I can't remember. I think that's what it is, Gen 9. Maybe I'm wrong. Anyways, but with that being said, we have Pokemon Legends Arceus releasing this month on the 28th. If you guys haven't been paying attention, this game is a whole new identity for Pokemon. One, it's like an open world, not fully, but mostly it's more of a vast open world compared to what it has been. It's more open than it was with Sword and Shield, and that was actually pretty damn good. With that, there's a whole new types of battling, a different battle system, a different battling screen. Instead of everything switching to a new screen for battling, it's all live. It all happens right there. And there's a new way to battle, which is going to make things a little more difficult, at least I hope, depending if they made the game difficult or not. But with that too, there's just a whole scheme of things that are changing. Let's focus on one of the most noticeable ones. It is one game, not two. Now, when they made the games before, say, when they made Gold and Silver, for example, there's two games, right? From their standpoint, you were not meant to buy both. You were meant to buy one that you enjoyed most because of the exclusives, and then you trade, so on and so forth, for the rest. That's what I've always done. I've never bought two. It was always red for me, and then it was silver. I wasn't really a fan of all the other games. Well, I was, but... And I kind of I didn't really buy the other games like Black and White and all that. I kind of just borrowed them from friends, played them, and then gave them back. So, obviously the first, 3 or 4 game series, I'm pretty sure I bought all those. And then I just, I think it was Generation 5. I wasn't a big fan. I haven't really been the biggest fan of Pokemon Generations. 4 was the last good one for me. 2 is my absolute favorite, with obviously the originals being second. I haven't even played Sun and Moon yet. I've been debating about it for the last couple of years. I'm like, I really want to play it, but I still have not played it. I know the Pokemon though, but I haven't played it yet. I just can't get myself to play it for some reason. I don't know why. I have heard a lot that, I think that was the first one they removed the National Pokédex from. And then on top of that, they made the game way too damn easy. Like, I've talked to people about Sword and Shield being too easy because, man, I just steamrolled. I never lost once against a single trainer on there. And I remember when I played the original games, Red and Silver, for example, when I played them, it was not that easy. I did not steamroll through. So there's a lot of people that complain about the experience points and how they're shared. I have no problem with it. However, I think that while it's sharing, it shares too much. I think there needs to be a better balance. Because the problem is, I'm using one Pokemon the entire way through the game. One Pokemon, my starter. I use him from start to finish. He's pretty much my only one that I'm using. Every once in a while, I'll have to switch to another one for a certain reason. My moves won't work, or I actually found a trainer that's, could do some damage on me, even though I've destroyed 5 of them and they have 1 Pokemon left. But the point is, you gotta get away from this easiness. And I know they're supposed to be made for the modern generation and children and stuff, but man, I really hope Legends Arceus is gonna be challenging. I want a game, like, I haven't even finished Brilliant Diamond yet, because I'm just steamrolling through there and it makes it boring, like severely boring. And I love the game. Like, the game is good. There's nothing wrong with the game itself. As a lot of people will say that there's been lots of bugs. I have no idea. I've had this game since the very first day. I pre-ordered the damn game and got it downloaded right away. I have not had a single issue with anything on the game. Nothing. So I don't understand. Outside of that, the game is too easy. And it drives me crazy. And it really makes it where it's boring for me. So I don't like games that are way over challenging where I can never ever surpass anything. But I don't like games that are so easy that I can close my eyes and just push one button and beat somebody. Now, if this had online battling, like, for example, Sword and Shield was easy for the single player game, but when you played online, now that's a whole different ball game. You're pretty much having like Pokemon Stadium, that's pretty much what it is included, and it's the online. But the battles, those ranked battles, are not that easy. Ah, man. And I wish that the AI had similar intelligence as a human being playing. Now, not quite as hard as a human, because, man, the people that I played in ranked matches and even unranked matches, I got steamrolled, and I'm good at Pokemon games. I'm good, and I know all the Pokemon, and I know the weaknesses and resistance and so on and so forth, but I still got fucking steamrolled online. So, that is something that I feel they should work on, and hopefully they do. But man, I hope you guys are excited about Legend Arceus as I am, because I am freaking ecstatic. Like, every time I keep watching the new updates, the new Pokemon, the new designs, everything, and then the storyline portion, which I think is actually unique for Pokemon as well, because we really don't have many origin stories for Pokemon games, and this one, I think it's going to be absolutely fantastic, honestly. I think it's going to be, you know, you look at Sword and Shield. There's a lot of negative comments and people talking about it, but man, it is number 3 best-selling Pokemon game of all time. And it's the best-selling Pokemon game since Silver and Gold, which is number 2 best-selling. Obviously, Red and Blue is first. Now, if Legends Arceus, when they show more of the actual gameplay before release, it hits well, I really have a strong feeling that this could overtake Sword and Shield. And if the game is actually really good, as it appears so far, it's possible it could overtake Silver and Gold. Now, those are legendary games, but look how close that Sword and Shield has come to breaking the sales for Silver and Gold. And I have a big feeling that Legend Arceus is going to be way better than Sword and Shield. I think these games are only going to get better. They have massive changes, battling changes, design changes. They did not strip the character customization, which I'm so damn happy about, because everybody loves the customization. Too bad we didn't have much customization on Brilliant Diamond. I was hoping that when they remade it, but they would have something of customization for characters, but that's alright. So, Pokemon Legends Arceus will come out on January 28th, one day before my birthday. Keep that in mind. I will be doing a podcast especially for my birthday. I'll let you know what it's going to be about when that time comes. With that being said, I have a quick story for you. Or somewhat long, medium, whatever. So, as I've mentioned, I'm starting to collect Pokemon cards again. Yes, I haven't collected Pokemon cards since I was 15, I think was the last time. And the reason for that was I collected the original cards, the very first ones that came out, and everything in between into the second generation of Pokemon. So I only had the first and second gen of Pokemon, but all the different packs for those 2 series. So you know that they're worth a lot, especially the Charizards, which I'm going to make statement now. I had 3 holographic Charizards. Let me make that clear again. I had 3 holographic Charizards. And this is where the story gets complicated. This is where it gets interesting and why I stopped collecting Pokemon cards. So I had every single first generation cards and the majority of the second gen cards. I had every single holographic card except for, I think, 7 between the 2 series, the first and second gen Pokemon for the cards. Especially had the 3 Charizards that I just mentioned, which are going, what, 30 grand right now? I think that's what it said the last time I looked. So right there, 3 of those I had. My favorite Pokemon is Typhlosion, if you guys haven't realized yet. And that's the biggest reason why I like the new game, because it's the first Pokemon game coming back with being able to use Typhlosion in the game since Silver and Gold. But back on the story. I had 3 different Typhlosion cards. I had the holographic one, the regular one, and then I had a holographic Japanese version of Typhlosion. And Typhlosion is my favorite. So that Japanese version was stolen. along with, hold your breaths, hold your breaths, hold your breaths, with the 3 holographic Charizards. Yes, this happened. And I was, I think 14, 15, something like that at that time when this happened. I got so pissed off. I grabbed that binder and just whipped it right in the bushes. I said, I'm fucking done. Of course, I was 14, so I don't think I said it that way, but yeah. I was so angry. There was so much money spent on Pokemon cards. I had because at that time, I had cases for my good cards, all my holographics and stuff. My doubles, I should say, of my holographics, and then I had another binder. I had 2 separate binders, technically. Kind of combined into 2. I can't. So it had it made it look like 2 binders in one. Flip on one, and then there was another kind of binder opening deal for the second one. And the first one is where I had all my first generation Pokemon cards, and then the second generation cards. And when I found those missing, it kind of broke me. And it wasn't the money that was wasted on them. It was the fact that I treasured these. I was a die-hard Pokemon fan as a kid. And as a collector, they meant something to me. And when I look at it now, those cards were so much better looking than the new cards. Way better. The holographics look better, the designs look better, the thickness of the card, the design looked better. Now they feel like paper and not really that great looking, in my opinion, but I was so distraught when those were stolen that I just gave up. I gave up and just whipped the entire binder into a bush. So I did try to come back to find those later on, which to be expected, they were gone. Who does not take a whole entire binder worth of 2 generation of Pokemon cards? So whoever you are, man, I hope you're a millionaire right now. With all those cards, you better have kept them. That was my pride and joy. It really was. But I'm collecting again. And the reason why I'm collecting is because, I really miss collecting. I miss being a kid. I live by myself. I have nothing to worry about other than natural things occurring, like a fire in my house. Oh God, please don't let that happen, knock on wood. So, it's okay, I can keep these things safe. No one's allowed in my house anyways. Rarely anybody ever comes to my house, and I don't really want anybody here, so with that being said, they're gonna be safe. No one's gonna steal them. They're hidden away. But it's very nice. I've already spent $70 in 6 days about some Pokemon cards, plus 25 more online. On Amazon, I bought some because you can't find them. They're the what are they? The 25th anniversary celebration cards, which has the first gen appearance and stuff like that. So those are something I'm very intrigued, and I'm really hoping I pull a Charizard just for old time's sakes. I know it's not going to be worth much. I think it was up to $70 or something like that right now. But still, the cards really mean something to me because it's just the old time's sake. So I bought, I think, a pack of, or not a pack, 5 packs, I think it was on there. So $20-some. Evolving Skies, they're just selling out of stores so damn quick they can't keep up with it. Every time I literally just bought 5 packs the other day because Target only limits 5. Otherwise I would have bought 10 packs of the Evolving Skies. And that was just a couple days ago. I went in today. All they had was the Raging Volts or I can't remember what it was, but anyways, yes, something Volts. And they only had like maybe like 11 or 12 packs. Obviously, I can only get 5, so I grabbed 5. No Evolving Skies. So when I'm looking at this, back then, you know, they were really popular, and they were flying off shelves, but not enough to where stores can't keep up on them, or they have to limit you from them. So how I'm looking at it, you know, it's been what, a little bit over 15 years or something for the Pokemon cards, the first ones that came out or something like that. Or more. Wow, I think longer than that. No, nah, I can't remember the year they came out, but anyways, look at the value of them now. So with the Evolving Skies and the other Sword and Shield Pokemon cards that are flying off the shelf and they can't keep them and they're limiting them at stores, that says that it's going to be so hard to find these cards. So to come with give 10, 15 years, these cards are going to be very valuable. So yeah, I'm collecting again. And you know what? It actually feels good to start collecting. It kind of makes me feel like a little kid, but in a good way. Like, enjoyment of life kind of kid. Because I didn't really live as a kid when I was a kid. I really didn't. But this kind of gives me a second chance at it, I guess. A little bit. Outside of work and stuff. But it's fun. It's actually been enjoyable, and I've pulled a lot of good cards. I even pulled a Charizard out, so that was kind of nice. Even though the Charizard's card, I don't know if it costs a lot, valued high right now, but just pulling that out of the very first pack, the first pack that I have actually bought since I was 14 or 15, which I am 32 right now, almost 33. Yeah, that kind of meant a little bit to me. It made me feel good. I was like, oh, a Charizard, and I lost mine, and it's holographic. Even though it's new, and it's not the original, it's still something awesome for me. So, but yeah, with that being said, I would love to hear your guys' views on the new Pokemon game coming out, the idea and possibility of a new generation of Pokemon coming out with a brand new game by the end of the year. And if you are collecting Pokemon cards, what is your best one that you've collected? What is your favorite one? And do you still have your originals? That being said, I hope you guys have a wonderful week, and stay tuned for next week. I will be right back here, same day, same time.